We have just started the recording. Sorry for a little bit of a late start. Internet issues followed by OBS update last second has led to us being a really late start today. Not even had the time to check for audio issues. Hope it all works out. Alright, looks like we're gonna have a top lane Zed versus top lane Scion. Personally, I played Scion the other day. Very strong champion. No matter what, as long as you know how to play him, he's always good. Just a tanky, just a beefy boy. Just stands in the middle of everyone. Same as he said of Cho'Gath. Kane versus Elise. Now, Elise is someone you don't see very often. She's always a jungler, lots of heavy CC, early gains, lots of potential to kill things, but you don't see her very often. I'd like to see more of her, but she's not a common pick. I don't know if it's due to the meta, but you just don't see her. Kane. Kane is Kane. Kane is strong. Morgana mid is interesting, especially to a Zed. It does help her that she always wants to build like Zonias no matter what. So going to Zed is just a great excuse for her to do so. Sivir into Zaya. Oh, not even mentioned we have the Zaya Rakan combo. It's enough that they're more powerful together. So there is a lot of potential in that lane. However, Sivir is a great pick into that. Lots of ways to get out of Rakan's, W, his ult, but she only has one spell shield, and there's multiple bits of CC in that lane. And even if they don't land a CC, at least can come in, or Cho'Gath, or anyone. Are Morgana and Syndra not switching, or is that just a visual bug? Alright, it looks like they're not switching, because it looks like we might have a Syndra support. That's interesting. I don't know how to feel about that one. I mean, Syndra has always been a lane bully, and I've seen Syndra support. I've never played it myself. Don't particularly enjoy playing Syndra, but that's just me. I know a lot of people do, just as how powerful she is. That ult, essentially it sits. It doesn't matter if support, behind, ahead, mid, top. Well, maybe not top. And I would be worried about Syndra jungle, but any other lane, any other place, behind or ahead, doesn't matter. That ult will just tear you a new one. So Zai really has to be careful. Something to keep in mind, if Morgana is still the support and it's just a weird visual bug, not showing that it switched properly, there's going to be a lot of potential for a really good stun coming from Morgana, because all that happens whenever Morgana presses ult is that Sivir presses hers, and all of a sudden Morgana's moving around at the speed of sound. And even if that's not the case, the late game team fights or mid game team fights are going to be really powerful. Lots of engage coming out from I believe this is Team D over here. I'm not completely certain. I wasn't recording. Damn. See, this is what happens when you start last second and have no idea what you're doing, especially when you're by yourself. Forget to change scenes and you look like an idiot. But it's okay. Now you can actually see what's going on. I believe this is Team D because it should be Team C should be on this side, Team D on this side. However, they switched for the second game, so this should be Team D now. Not sure, but either way, lots of engage coming out on this. Like, Sion just ults in. Meanwhile, Sivir ults. The rest of their team does this huge, massive speed up. Uh, a lot comes down to what form Kane pits this game, because they don't have a lot of ways to deal with Cho'Gath. Like, Sivir is not the easiest person for Cho'Gath to kill, but Syndra is. Cho'Gath can take Syndra out of this fight every time. The only way Syndra is able to deal with Cho'Gath is if she lands her E on him. but she's going to be looking to do that on these other targets. And if she uses it on him, Zed gets a free kill on her. So it really becomes a lot of counterplay here. And you can't ever forget about the Rakan engage. It is there, it's still powerful. Have to be very careful about it. Interesting. Arcane Comet coming out from Cho'Gath. Um, it's not something I see very often. I've seen a lot of things take on Cho'Gath. You can take Press the Attack, you can take Conqueror. Be a little odd, but you can take Conqueror. Uh, Grasp the Undying, Aftershock, if you can reliably land, you trust yourself to hit that Q. Arcane Comet's not something you see very often. Maybe he's planning to do a bit more damage this game. Build like a Roa. Maybe a Rylai's. I can see that being pretty good. Abyssal. Um, Standard. Aftershock on Rakan. I guess after his changes, you do want to be a bit more tanky because you have to stay near them a lot more. So having that extra armor magic resist is going to do quite a bit for him staying alive. Pretty standard. Okay, yeah, it's not switching for us on that thing, but it is in fact Morgana support. Oh, just a little bit of a little exchange going on. Just hellos between the two. A little bit of gold got for Morgana, and by a little bit, 33, not to be underestimated. Like, you know all those times that you bat and you're like 20 gold short and you have to sit there and wait, but a team fight's about to break out, so it's this really awkward position. Yeah, that 33 gold means quite a bit. Maybe it means nothing, maybe it means a lot. I'll We'll see. If late game comes around and she's not waiting for 33 gold during the middle of a team fight, it meant a lot right just then. Red start from Kane. I I mean it's all preference. From my knowledge of Kane you can start wherever you want. Start Raptors, start Wolves, to start Red. It's all preference, but I do think it does mean that he's not as comfortable in the champion as maybe he is on others. Maybe his others were banned. Alright, looks like we're not going to be seeing the level 2 gain from Elise. If that's what we were seeing, we'd see her immediately coming mid right now. Looks like she's just going for the standard full clear. Top stone for a little bit of trading. Oh, nice job. That's exactly what you need to do. Silence to level 1. You're level 2. You have that advantage. Get that damage on him. It may not be there forever, but at least means that he's a little bit more scared to walk up. Good ward. It means that you don't have to be worried about Kane coming through. You can see him if he comes through here before he walks through this wall. Placing against Kane, placing a ward in the river isn't as effective as it usually is, but you don't want to place it inside the jungle either, because then he just comes from the river. You have to be very careful with placement, and this is a just great spot to be in. See him if he comes through here, which is very common general gain path for Kane, but you also see him through here. Oh, looks like a little trading coming down for Zed. Oh, you can't forget about that electrocute, and you can't forget how much of a lane bully Syndra is. She does a lot of damage. I only saw half in that fight, but you only have so much damage as a Zed, and Syndra has a little bit more. Once she gets our combo, you can keep trading with her, but the same goes for you as well. Once your combo is gone, she can just keep auto attacking you. The thing is, you're fighting minions there. Right. Looks like both lashes coming out from Syndra and Elise there. I think both were necessary. I don't think Syndra necessarily needed a flashlight. I think she would have been fine if she had just walked away. Her Jungler was coming in, but it is a good thing she did, just to be safe. Being safe, summoner spells are less important than your lives. If you feel like you can die, just do it. I'd rather see you without your flash. Oh, great job. Taking advantage of your passive, taking advantage of your knight, taking advantage of the fact that she forgot that you can, or maybe not forgot, but she just didn't think about the fact that you can go back to that shadow. Great job from Zed. It looks like a game might be coming out on top of Cho'Gath. Oh, great flash. He would have died there if he had not done that. It Scion Q is very underestimated. It does so much damage. A fully charged Q right now is doing math around 320 damage. 310, 300, something. Either way, it's doing enough damage that out of why is that here? Out of his 900 health bar, a third of it's gone, just like that. At least trying to counter dink, it seems. Well, come in for the dink. Ooh, great knockdown from Rakan. Great heal from Sever, but I don't think it's gonna be enough. I think. Yep, that that auto from Rakan actually got that kill. It looked a little on there, but I think that was just the perfect range where it did that. Morgana had a great ward out here, caught the Elise come down, and she tried to throw a blinding, and actually caught Elise. But I think she got a little green and threw down W. It was unnecessary. You did not need to do that. Just walk away. Because of that, you died to the cocoon. Elise landed that cocoon perfectly. Looks like a little bit more trading going on. No, not trading, CSing. Ooh. Great job from Elise. Just walking in straight behind. She came straight through here. This ward does nothing. It's something that people don't really think about that much. The truth is, these wards here, they suck. They don't do anything for you. You want wards here, here, or here. Preferably here. This gets you the most vision from on both sides. But if you can't, if you're scared to walk up here, put a ward here. Put a control ward here, and then put a regular ward here. That means you literally just can't get danked from anywhere else. Or if you're, let's say you're on the side of Syndra here. Yeah, put a control ward here, put the other ward here. Now they can't come in from here. They can't. You see them coming through here. It just gives you so much control of the map right there. From Zed's side, you want the ward here or here. If you can't put here, again, just here or here. Put control ward here and put the regular ward here. That gives you so much vision control. You can see them coming from either side. Because games like that, where people walk around, that is a jungler's bread and butter. That is their free games. Because by the time they get here, you're dead. If you're past this point and they get here, unless you have flash, which as we know, Syndra used her flash earlier, you are just dead. It's not just a little bit of train going on. Honestly, this matchup is purely skill between the two of them. Either one could win. If Cho'Gath uses his silence not up properly, he can stop Scion from ever being able to use his Q, which is a lot of Scion's damage. And then Vorpal Spites, yep, is a very powerful ability. Does so much damage. Like, let's look at this here. A flat 58 plus 9, an extra 3.5% max HP. Great silence, but I don't think could be getting out of this. Yeah, there's nothing much you can do. You needed to get control of this. At this point, you're a little bit past the halfway mark. You need to control this bush. This is warded, so Kane was just able to walk straight inside. Well, good job on for you, Zed, getting the kill, but I think you have to be a little careful about getting in close to a tower with a Syndra. That stun is a lot of that stun is very easy to land. The knockback is really easy to land, even if she doesn't get the stun. And her damage from her ult means that guaranteed, if you take just one or two tower shots, even as a fairly tanky person like Elise, just even one, maybe two tower shots, and that ult will kill you with just three or four balls. Looks like a little bit engaged coming down. Oh, great flash coming from Morgana. Gets the ult on both of them. Fortunately, it's not enough. Sivir was a little preemptive on that. Excuse me. On that flash, she wanted to get out there as quickly as possible. She needed to. She would have died had she not, to be fair, but she wasn't in any position to walk back in to help her Morgana either. Honestly, though, great play coming out from both of them. Uh, Zarya was very quick to flash on top of Sivir, and had Sivir not flashed away immediately, that flash would have actually gotten Zarya the kill. So great job from both sides there. It's one of those things. It feels like a waste if you don't get the kill to flash as ADC towards another ADC, but you came that close to killing her because you used that flash. That's something that can't be underestimated. Looks like a little fight going on over a ward. Honestly, that's exactly what you need. You want to control this vision. Right now, like this is perfect. Sion has no idea. This is free. That's a kill. This is dead. Great job, Sion. You're not going to be getting a kill. You're not going to get any CS off this. Just don't kill the ward. Smart job. But this is exactly what you want from Cho'Gath. Put that control ward down. Control this vision. You, Sion has no idea that Elise is even around. Apparently, now there's Syndra. Looking at builds as of right now, Kane is Kane has not batted in a while. I don't think. He has a lot of CS compared to Elise, but Elise has a lot of kills. Elise has been farming really or ganking really hard. Uh, you might be able to get. You have your flash yet? You're out. Yeah, that's great flash. He would have died there if he had not had it. Great attempt from Team D on that gank, but there is only so much you can do. You did manage to bust his flash though. Your ult, Scion ult for your flash, is pretty worth for the Scion. Ooh, and gets the TP out. Ooh. See, that's scary. That wasn't even a Zed ult. You almost died. You almost got popped, and that wasn't even his ult. If he had ulted there, you would be dead. What you can do is ult to dodge the knockback from Syndra. You have to be pretty quick on it, but there is the animation time. Or just wait until she does that. Honestly, great job from both of them. Kane going for that quick flash, trying to catch Zed unaware. No, we just looked away. Zed was basically full HP just to Senjo. Now he's nearly dead. I can only imagine that was a Q, W, and a ult. Speaking of Jinx, that's a dead Syndra. Ooh, careful. That's a lot of careful being coming out for a reason. That's scary for Elise. Honestly, great plays from the both of them there. Well, great play from Elise especially. Using that timer as best as can, waiting for Rakan to get as close as possible. Sion was on the side, but there was no one else to follow up. It was only Kane who was half dead, and Morgana, versus the 3 or 4 people that were there for red side. I haven't been paying much attention to bot, but this is not what you want to see. 22 CS lead coming from Zaya. That's very impressive. That lead's only increasing more and more. There's no kills going down, but to be honest, you don't need them. If you're out CSing your opponent this hard, that advantage is gonna be more than enough. I can only imagine been a lot of pressure coming out from Rakan out this game. This is a terrifying lane. Like, there's a lot of potential in this lane. Like, you have 2 different spell shields, so all the CC in the world should mean. I'm gonna assume that was a misclick. Judging by the fact both those were used, I'm going to assume that Zed ulted a little bit early, and Syndra was able to E him away and just ult. Well, I'm afraid that's dead. Once you get hit by that knockup, you're already gone. Yeah, it's unfortunate fact, but you're already gone. That knockup is not a short knockup, but when he's building damage like this, has that Arcane Comet, does a lot of damage, and comes with a. Does it scale with level or is it? Yeah, it scales with level, but it's 60% slow. Like that's massive. You're basically just slow. You're just a crab walk, and it lasts for 1.5 seconds as well. That's once you get hit by that, you're almost done. Especially if you're half HP like she already was. Looks like a gank coming down from. Oh, unfortunate. Ooh. Oh, unfortunate for Zed. Lots of great dodges coming out for both sides. Slight misangles on still shots and great dodges from Team D has kept them mostly alive, only losing Morgana, and that was to an auto attack. Can't dodge that unless you're Shen or Jats, but yeah, 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 that's about what you expect from a Syndra. So great job on her part. She is 5 and 7. She has all deaths, but she has been dying to gains a lot. Honestly, if I have any advice for you, Syndra, control vision better. As it stands, red. You should have this warded, but instead, red side has it warded. This is your side's bush, so there should not be a control ward on this side. Great vision control coming out from Team C this game, and a lot of it is coming from Elise. That's impressive. Elise has a higher ward store than the enemy support. That's not too uncommon. Early on, supports don't really get their support item, their vision item until a certain point. So it's not uncommon for the jungler who is constantly moving around, to setting up vision in other places to have a higher reward score. But even so, it is impressive. And really how quickly that changed. It's like a gank's coming down on top side. That's a dead Cho'Gath, but Cho'Gath is getting to be a real monster. That same to be said for Elise. Elise is huge. Sets 1 and 3. That's exactly what you want to see from Elise. That's exactly what you want to see. Lots of power, early game potential, and she's using it to the max. She's been exactly where she needs to be. Done a lot of great games on mid. Couple of great games on bot. Hasn't gone top much, but clearly unnecessary. As far as items go, looks like a little bit of vision control around Dragon. Good. Necessary for both teams right now. And Feral Drake is a very powerful objective. Cho'Gath is going for this tower, and there's not much. There's actually exactly nothing that Sion can do about it. And if he's careful, he's gonna lose his life. The Vorpal Spike's doing so much damage. Just so much slowing going down. And when I say so much, I mean considering how tanky, beefy a Scion is and how much magic he has, those Vorpal Spikes are hurting. Oh, speaking of hurting, that's a lot of damage coming out of Morgana. But your team wasn't near you. They could not follow up there. You walked up by yourself, and you died for it. Can't be doing that. Ooh, that's dead Sivir. Great job from Zed. Great ult. Notice that the Sivir was out of position, backing, low HP, just went straight for it. That's a free dragon and a Feral Dragon. And that's huge. That's what I see. Looks like they're not trying to test now. It's a little late. Sion is here. Sion does have his ult. Ah, but Syndra is already dead. They did manage to get Zed, but Sion is going to fall here. See, the issue is Sion built so much for the Cho'Gath, who was doing a lot of damage, that the full AD threats coming out from the rest of the team are just too scary. Meanwhile, Cho'Gath is just chunking this top tower. Little bits of damage here and there is going to be the big difference maker between getting that tower later on or not. Because now that this tower's at half HP, little minion hits over now time, and then we'll chunk down even further. And say just a team fight goes wrong for Team D here. Now that Cho'Gath can just go straight top and take that tower for free. I will say, Cho'Gath, you're here on the top side, taking the second tier tower. Mid, first tower's gone, second tower is just standing here. But bot side still has their tower up. You need to take that down. Because as long as this is up, you do not have full control. You can't make any plays happen here. Because if any plays happen here, they just walk straight to this tower. They just escape. You want to have control over this entire bit of the map. So they can't just walk straight into a tower and leave. That being said, you're putting a lot of pressure down on this team. Something to keep in mind. This is what I was saying earlier. Kayn might be the only person that can really deal with Cho'Gath, and that's shown why. Red Kayn is insanely powerful when it comes to dealing with tanks. Not so good when coming to dealing with assassins like Zed, though. Zed does kill the Kayn, however he pays for it with his life. Ooh, great charm coming out from Rakan. Lots of damage. Oh, this is a great team fight coming out. Cho'Gath with the double kill. Ah. Beautiful play by red side. Zed caught... Oh, well, a lot to say there. Aggressive, but you could do it. So great job. Unfortunate you flashed directly into the E. That was just bad luck on the timing. Great reaction flash by Syndra, right as the Rakan flash W. I don't know if it's prediction, but it certainly was great. Great job. But a lot happened here. Got a great pick on Kane. However, he paid for it with his life. A bit more vision control around this area would have made that play a little bit better because you had no idea where the rest of the team was. So they collapsed on you immediately after. However, your team did a great job of collapsing on their team right after because your team is definitely the more dominant one. You have a powerful Elise, you have a powerful Cho'Gath, and your Xayah is insanely powerful as well. Massive CS lead, massive kill difference. The dull difference here is 8k. 8k. That's risky. Oh, that hurt my soul to watch. Alright. Deaths like that, you just traded your mid laner for the support. Great kill, great job. You noticed that you could kill her and you did so. But you didn't realize your team has no vision over here. Your team needs to have vision on this area because you did not know Syndra was walking down. I will say you got very unlucky ish. Morgana got that binding off right as she died, and that got you killed. If she hadn't done that binding off, you would have probably gone out there. You'll have a pick on. You just killed their Kane. You have a Cho'Gath and a heavily ahead at least. I would start looking for bear control here, even if you don't go for it. Getting like pressure on it, clearing this, and getting all these other putting wards here, here, and a control ward here. You want to get it closer to the Baron, but just vision here and here, especially, and maybe one here. That's up to you. Whether or not you think you can bait them out with it. But vision there and there is necessary. Ooh. Oh, great flash. That's a thick wall, and you just flash straight over it. San ended his ult a little bit early. Oh, looks like a lot's going on here. Too much is going on here. I don't know which side of the fight to follow. Uh, I'll be honest, this looks like a loss from Red side. This fight's not going well for them. It's a 3 versus 3, but Cho'Gath and Elise were the two that they lost here. That's two massive shutdowns going down for blue side. A little risky walking up through here. If Morgana was a little bit more forward, she could have gotten a snare on you. Walking through this bush and just walking around is a lot more safer of a path. Your team wasn't nearby either until the last second to support you. So if you had gone out there, that would have been another shutdown going down. Have to be more conscious about stuff like that. I mean, yeah, there's not much you can do there, San. You just gotta hope he comes back to it for whatever reason. You can't chase him, so yeah. Great pick from Zed. Lots. Yes, buddy, that was recorded. You were sole focus of that. But we won't mention it for anyone who's not actually paying attention. Looks like Looks like a attempt was made for pits for both sides, but nothing will come of it. This is dangerous. This troublesome. You don't want to be this low. You know Toadad's walking down. Yeah, great job backing off there, because getting that low, Toadad can already kill you. He doesn't have his ult up. Oh, great job, Rakan. Amazing engage. Just went straight in and just taint the tower for your whole team, and got massive CC on the rest of the enemy. You go in again, get the CC off. You do die for it, but so does their ADC. Ooh, great dodge from Elise there. Ah, but wasn't enough. Cho'Gath does have his ult. If he can get something here, he does not have flash. Oh, that's it. He's dead. See, personally, I understand why you would do, why Spirit Witches would be good play. You know, he does have a lot of healing in your kit, but I personally would have gone for something like a Banshees would have been good, more damage. Adaptive, it's really good at dealing with Syndra, and a big one is can't think of the name, Abyssal. Abyssal increases the damage you deal and gives you lots of HP, and I believe it gives, yeah, I believe it gives mana too. Would have been a great choice here instead of Spirit Visage. Spirit Visage does give you that cooldown that is actually really necessary for you. It's like we're sitting now in the bush there, buddy. Alright, got the head strinker. Ooh, Knight coming out. Yep, that's a kill. That's see. There's a big issue here. You can't be going for these. You already know Scion's here. You already know that Scion is definitely here. Rakan just saw him here. You're going. You need to have more vision. Like right now, this is why that the gold lead is still AK, but the, you keep dying for these kills. And here you didn't even get the kill. You did manage to get the heal from Sivir, but it just you can't be doing this. You need to have vision on this, like these areas here. If you're gonna be going for a type of pick like that, you have to make sure you have to account for where the enemy team is. That was really fast. I knew they were doing it, but that was fast. Um, you have to account where is the rest of the enemy team. I know Scion's around here. We just saw him here. We know. I see Sivir here. Where's Syndra? Where's Morgana? Where's Tate? If any of the people that you don't have information on can kill you, it's a good idea not to go for your play. Even if it means that you lose out on a kill, it's better than giving up a kill. At this point in the game, your life for Sivers is not very worth, because Sivir is 1 in 4. She has 2 items. This CS lead is getting bitter and bitter every time I look at it. Is she's not that useful in a fight. She's has her power, but you don't want to be killing yourself for her. Meanwhile, you're 8-7-2. You have a good CS lead. The gold on you is cannot be understated. Honestly, great ult. Because at the point where Syndra is right now, a Q auto ult might have been enough to kill you. It might have been just enough to kill you. And yeah. Yeah, great ult. Being preemptive. No, you don't have it for a little bit. It's not that long of a cooldown though. 88 seconds, not that bad. When you consider how long your death timer would be. Sivir is doing the right thing. This is not what you want. You know Sivir's down here farming. You do not want to be just going in and dying for this. I don't talk fast enough to tell you what's going on here. I hope y'all can see it with your own eyes, because I can't. I'm legally blind. After all the stuff that I just saw, I'm legally blind. All right. To cap what happened, I think Kane wanted to go for a play. Sion decided to follow up. However, Kane backed off last second because he saw, okay, we're not winning this. The rest of the team's not in position. We can't do this. Free Baron coming out. This is exactly what you want to see from red side here. Just get that Baron. Jungler's dead. Sion's dead. They can't contest. Um, but Sion, you got a little too over aggressive. Like, even if you think you're going for a play with Kane, the rest of the team's not there. Sivir is bot. Even if she's behind, even if she's not worth much in a fight, she's still your AE carry. And fighting without her, fighting a 45, which is not just 45, your entire team's behind. Your entire team is behind already. So fighting that 45 is not what you want. Right now, what you want is to have all four people in lane. You want all these people in lane, and you want Cho'Gath to be down in a side lane. The case to be argued. A case to be argued here to go for the 1-3-1 with Zed in the side lane as well. But there's so much engage on this side of the team, you don't want to have three people by themselves. Something to be said here. You are the stronger team, so sieging is definitely a possibility. But before you start sieging like this, like, yes, it's working out, but before you start sieging like this, set up this wave. Set up this wave. This wave is kind of set up, but this one you want to have pushing. This one should be pushing into them, not into you. That way you can rotate with the wave and just get another tower for free. If you had two waves crashing in here, you might be able to get this tower off this. It'd be risky, but you could. If this wave had been pushed, set it up a little bit more, you could take this tower off of it. You'd have two inhibs down and an open inhib and just be able to rotate freely into Dragon. Setting up waves before a big fight is crucial. It's not something you can do every time, but it's something you can always look for to improve on in the future. Zed's waiting for the pick here. Alright, multiple things to talk about here. Try that, buddy. I don't think that was the best teleport you could go for there. Ooh, great flash ult from Rakan. Multiple things go on here. Zed, save your ult for when you see the knockback animation from Syndra. I mean, it's all a mute point because the games should be over here, but she's mostly got away there because she has the Zonias to out of your ult. She has a way to deal with all of it. Just saving that ult until after you see her use it on you or until she's in the animation for it and dodging it. Wait until then. Even if she's used it on you and you get hit by it, it's fine. Because now you have your ult to just hop back on her. What the hell? Honestly, let's look at a couple finer points. Because builds are mostly exactly what you expect them to be. I would hope to see a Zonia's coming out here. Like, there's a lot of AD damage coming out from just these two alone. And being able to safely walk in and ult their entire team, especially with Sivir ult, just leading the charge, is a lot for your team. And not being able to safely do it and not get one shot. Um, like I said, no Zonias. Sorry, I forgot switch scenes again. Uh, Honestly, great builds coming out overall. I would hope to see Zonias here, but considering Rylai's is definitely a good alternative because it gives a little bit more just something extra for when you do hit something. That the slow from the W is at least something to provide utility to your team. It's a little something extra. Great builds coming out from everyone else. Exactly what you expect. Let's talk about some finer points. Let's go down here to Vision Store. Wow. Okay. Lots of wards being placed here from blue side. Honestly, that's exactly what you want. This is why you kept dying. Is they had all these wards out. Like look at all these 14, 20, 27 sits. Well, this is low. And this is one you really don't want to be low. As the jungler, you should have a lot more wards placed than the rest of your team. Other than the support. The only exception is if you're say a Lee Sin, but you should have a lot more wards placed here. Red side, I would like to see a bit more wards placement from you, because at this point you've been dominant the entire game. Having lots of control over the vision in both sides of the jungle would allow more picks, a lot more fights to go a lot more smoothly. Just something to work on. Blue side, great job controlling vision. Uh, Kane, I would like to see you to put more wards down, but you did destroy quite a few. But I'm assuming that was with the Morgana. Control wards purchased, very well done, both sides. Uh, Overall, just great job. Let's look at a little bit more at the damage, how it was all set up. Um, yeah, these these charts are roughly what you expect based on watching the game, seeing how everything was going. Lots of damage coming out from Elise, from Xayah. It can't be understated how powerful Xayah was. Xayah was doing great that game. Uh, Zed, I said before, like I said in game, work on this like trying to kill people when you don't have vision of everyone else. That's what was getting you killed, was that you had no vision on the rest of the team. You did not know where they were. If you had vision there, you might have been able to do more with it. Just something like even knowing where three people were in the team instead of just having a knowledge of two does a lot for you. Because walking into a 2v1, like you're strong, but you're not strong enough to 2v1 yet. Because this Syndra is also very strong. Like Sivir has a lot of ways to get out of your stuff, so does Syndra after she does Zonia's. So getting trying to get these pits isn't going to be 100% all the time. So falling back, getting vision of people, even if it means letting a kill get away, just make sure you're not going to die for it. Because at a certain point, this Sivir isn't. She's 1-5-3. She's She's nearly 100 CS. She's 90 CS behind your ADC. She's not much of a threat. Killing her does not give much to the team as much as you provide to your team alive. Great choice from Kane going red Kane this game. It's the only way you could have dealt with that Cho'Gath. That Cho'Gath was a monster. He was beefy. He was doing damage. That was the only way to deal with him, and you did your best. Honestly, the same thing could be said from pretty much every member of the team. More vision control from both sides. Just a bit more, because you have a lot of wards placed here on this side. They have quite a few destroyed, but it still didn't stop you from walking into some bad situations. Team fights where it's just you're already behind. You already know something's going to happen. Don't fight this. Definitely need more vision control from red side. Otherwise, honestly, great games from both sides for the most part. Besides the little things that were mentioned, lots of high level stuff coming out from both sides. I especially love what Zaya has done throughout the game, and Rakan too. Like Rakan was everywhere. Rakan was exactly where he needed to be at all times, and he had some great initiations. At least did a great job as a jungler. Lots of pressure on pretty much the entire map. She came top a couple times. She came mid a lot and kept Syndra from getting even further ahead. She came down bot a couple times. The bot gates were really good, and they were honestly pretty well timed. It honestly kind of felt unnecessary though. Like it's clear your ADC after the first like one or two, it wasn't very necessary to go down there because your team was already winning there. Meanwhile, top is being top ended up very well, but top was being pushed in quite a bit by a certain point. So going up there maybe a bit more, getting even further ahead. It's little things. It's on mute because obviously what you did worked. I said, as far as just different stuff that you can do to help, it's all comes down to like build stuff. Like you, Jordan, you did a great job. I would have personally, this is my personal choice. I would have gone for Abyssal Mask over Spirit Visage, but it's certainly something that it's completely it's personal preference at the end of the day. Well, I think you would have gotten a little bit more out of it, but Spirit Visage is definitely not a terrible choice. What would have been a bad choice is something like Maul, you know. I don't think you'd be doing much use out of Maul of Malmodius. It's kind of hard to say when you've been talking a lot. Honestly, I can't say too much. Like it was just great plays overall. Both teams did extremely well. Team C has came out the victors in both games. I wish I could have seen the first, but internet issues followed by OBS deciding to update at the last second led to some unfortunate incidents. As far as other feedback you can work on, having another person here just tell me what I'm missing would be really good help. Here's something we don't look at very often. And no, that honestly says as much as you would like to see, because it shows the Taints were doing their job, taking as much damage as possible. Um, Sivers is so low because she wasn't in fights very often. Whenever she took damage, it's because she was dying to Zed hopping on her or a flash initiation from Elise or Rakan. Most of these numbers are exactly what you want to see. Rakan's is really low, and I think that honestly says a lot about how he played his champion of relying on the aftershock actually hitting his knockups, hitting his ults, charming a lot of people. It says a lot about how efficient he was that game. Because if he wasn't hitting those knockups, hitting those like good charms on the priority targets, he would have taken a lot more damage. So clearly, Rakan was doing an amazing job that game. Yeah, no, that's what he was about. All right. If there's any further questions about what can be done, just hit me up directly. It's a Patreon. You can add me on here. Have folder for ESDL. Just add me in here. I'll answer any questions about what you think you could have done better. I'll tell you yes, no, to the best of my ability. And if anyone wants, we can go about it, and I'll review the game with y'all. And you can tell me what you were thinking here and there, and we can point out places where things went wrong. If I had to say any place where that game went truly off the rails, like there's a lot of games can be decided by a single fight. It doesn't seem like it, but a lot of games are decided by a single fight somewhere in the game, where at least it just starts to be snowballed. To be honest, it felt like Red sided snowballed across the map entirely. But if I had to choose one play, I would say it was the fight where Zed picked off Kane and then got picked off by the enemy team. Having Red Side entirely rotate onto your team afterwards, that was huge. It cemented whatever lead they had because the entire team just got huge off of that, and you lost so much for it. I think a lot of it just came down to controlling vision. Syndra, control vision around your bushes a bit more because you got caught out a lot by the at least just walking in behind you. Kane, especially, you can help a lot with that. My friend, you play 6 wards the entire game. You play 5 control wards too. I really hope that number isn't like together. Like I really hope 5 of your wards place isn't control wards. But you can place a lot more wards around areas where you think your laners are going to change from. Because clearly, at least came through mid the exact same way multiple times. She could watch him right behind. So putting wards in those places where you know they're gonna come from is huge. Other than that, I think everyone did a great job, and I hope y'all had fun because these were great games from everybody. Amazing work, and have a great day, guys.